Welcome to my live show, guys. You are welcome to our live show. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about why women endure abuse in relationship and marriage. If anyone is there, you can join us. Let's talk about this issue once and for all. Why women do endure abuse in relationship and marriage. You are free to call and you're free to give your opinions. They count a lot. Welcome to the show, guys. Wow, if there is somebody there, please just indicate. Yeah, if somebody is there, just kindly indicate you're there. And welcome to the live. If you can get me, just indicate. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about why women endure abuse in relationship and marriage. Welcome. Please welcome to the live. Today we are going to be talking about why women endure abuse in their relationship. If you are there, let me know you are there so we can start right away. We can start from some. I'm going to be checking. Let me see if my position is good. If the lighting is okay. Let's check that. Okay. Can you get me?
Yes, hi Sheila.
Hi.
Um, again, I don't know if you're the one to welcome me or me welcoming you, but anyway, either way works,
Yeah.
since I'm the one asking the questions.
Yeah.
So today we have um another live, and our topic for today, of course, before diving into the topic, let's introduce ourselves. I encounter Neraya based in the US, and I have with me.
Mason, based in Germany.
Okay.
So
So okay. So nice to have you again, Shelamas on TV.
thank you so much.
Um Today we are going to, I mean, talk about domestic violence. You know, this
Yeah,
is this is a very hot topic. I mean, from time and time again, we always see cases of domestic abuse that come online. You know, whether by people that we know or people we do not even know. You know,
okay,
so today I want us to talk a little bit about
okay,
domestic violence. So the
okay.
first question I would like to ask you, Sheila, is why do women tolerate abuse in marriages or in relationship?
Well, thank you so much for having me again, Encounter Naira. It is my pleasure to share with you this because our society has been going through a lot concerning this topic, concerning this issue, and there are so many reasons why women are being abused and why women tolerate abuse in relationship or marriage. And
Mhm.
to me, I think one of the reasons why women tolerate this abuse is societal pressure, the fear of what people will say. Like in some situation, you can see a woman, she's been married or she's in a relationship because of what society thinks about her. Sometimes women are afraid of, like, okay, I am of age, I cannot quit the relationship. I just have to tolerate. Sometimes women think about what their parents will say, what society is going to say, like she's not good enough to stay in the marriage. That's why the marriage didn't work. So she just has to support. Sometimes women support this because of their children. I mean, there are so many reasons why women support abuse in relationship. And so I would like us to begin with this idea of societal pressure, the pressure that society puts on women.
Okay.
Mhm. So I would like to say in a society where people think women have to do everything to keep their relationship, whether good or bad. I mean, women are the ones to walk in for a better relationship. That might always be the case. That women will be there to endure because they are afraid of what people will say. Women will be there to accept whatever thing a man does to them because of the fear of what people will say. There have been cases where a woman will accept and tolerate this abuse because she will not want to leave the marriage, because she's afraid of what people will say. If the society will look at her as the bad person, the society will look at her as she's not well trained for, she's not the white material, she cannot respect. That's what the puts it, the husband. But in so many cases, that is not the case. And that's why we are here today to talk about why women tolerate and to help our women to understand that their lives are more important than to tolerate something that will lead them to something else that maybe we'll not have the opportunity to discuss again.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sheila, for that brilliant explanation. So this has actually, um, I mean, it has actually kind of like put another question in my head for me to ask.
Okay.
So I know you've explained so much about women tolerate abuse because of societal pressure, what people would think about them if they leave that marriage or that relationship. So pretty much it's about like they stay there just for the name of being there, because I mean they don't want to be judged, they don't want to be looked upon like they are bad. They cannot stay in marriage and stuff like that. But the question that kept coming to mind while you were giving all this explanation
Yeah.
is, I mean, I will, I mean, because we are Africans, I mean, and I know other races can learn too from this topic, but
Exactly.
we cannot deny um, the fact that domestic abuse is very, very common within our African community.
Exactly.
And so, because I mean, honestly, me being in the US, I will say I haven't really, really experienced domestic abuse like I do see within, I mean, haven't experienced domestic abuse as much as I see it within our African communities.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and so the question I want to ask is, you say, oh, because of pressure, what will people say? But again, we are the ones that, I mean, because I mean, this thing keep coming up time and time again, and they keep educating women, even back homes, in Jangi groups, different meetings, different gatherings. They've been advising women to leave any relationship that the man is being verbally abusive to them. They've been educating women. I mean, even women who, I mean, like, they've been giving all this doctrine, even on TV and stuff like that. So, like, so that societal pressure kind of like is really not, if you ask me, I'll say it's not kind of like enough reason why I think most women stay, you know, because I mean they've been giving women all kind of advice. If this man is really abusive to you, run because your
Yeah.
safety first, you know.
Exactly.
So I don't think someone after hearing all this counseling and advice, both online, both in Jangri groups or your church groups, I mean, a lot of they've been sensitizing people a lot about domestic abuse. It's not like if this was like maybe 20 years back, I
Mm.
mean, I'll be seeing maybe tying into the reason why they stay because of pressure.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, if you ask me, it's not enough reason. So what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, actually, I get you. And if you are on this live, please, you can also join and give your ideas, what you think. And for me, I like what you said. You don't think it's enough. Yeah, there's a lot of awareness going on. There's a lot of education, everything about this same issue because we have got really worse cases in the past years, and I think our society is trying to sensitize women and to give them that awareness that they need. But in most cases, it is not always the situation because for me, I think like what you just said, it is not enough. But another reason I can go up for is like there are some women who are also afraid, like when they are in a relationship or marriage and they already have children, they don't want to leave because of their children, because they have the fear of, okay, what if I leave? What is going to happen to my children? How are my children going to be raised? If the man happens to get married to another woman, is she going to be good enough to take care of my children? There are some cases the woman financially she's unstable. How can she manage to support herself and the children without the husband? There are so many reasons. And normally, I can say our life is more important than all those reasons, because you cannot put your life at risk because you want to save your children or you want to save a relationship. But I think that is some of the reason keeping women in abusive relationship.
Okay. And have you, because, you know, like I used to think that um, women who kind of tolerate abuse in marriages or in relationship, women are mostly, are mostly women who are not financially stable.
Yeah.
But, doing research, my own personal research, and even some cases that have come up recently,
Mhm.
I realized that you have a lot of women, smart women, who are successful financially. I mean, career wise, I mean, they are doing very well. They are very successful. Financially, they are very stable, but they are in a very abusive and toxic marriage and relationship. So, why do
Yeah.
you think, I mean, women of such caliber would, um, you know, encourage or tolerate um, abuse,
Yeah. Yeah.
in a marriage?
Obviously, sometimes we think only people who are financially unstable, and sometimes we also think people who like don't have the means and the facilities. But I tell you, it can happen to not everybody, but there are some women who are in this toxic relationship, like you just said, and they are tolerating this abuse. And sometimes what we forget to note is that abuse must not always be like physical abuse. There are also emotional abuse and psychological abuse. So in this case, I would say from my own like research that I've seen through the years, I can also say some of some of these women they accept it because they are afraid. Not all of them are afraid. Sometimes they are with men that threatens them, and they are the men. These men usually make them to understand that if you try to go or if you try to seek support, I'm going to get rid of you. So sometimes these women are afraid of their life and the life of their children. So that's why they keep on supporting or staying in this abusive relationship. It takes only the grace of God to be really smart and to be able to escape this. That is why we are here today to educate our women, to talk on these things that women should not like. Yeah, exactly. We are talking about why they abuse, and we are also going to tell them what they can do in such situation. Obviously, we will not say everything in this video. The part two will be coming up, but I think most of these women stay because they are afraid to lose. Sometimes it's threat. The men threatens them, so you can imagine what they go through.
Okay. So, but I mean, some people will say, "Oh, that's um, that's a lie. It's not because of threat. It's not because of they don't want to be with their kids alone." Some people, I've actually hear people say, "Oh, she's stuck." Some people are stuck because they're scared of being alone. It has nothing to even
Oh,
do with their children. They don't want to be alone. Like they are, like you hear some people say, "Oh, they have they don't have any self-worth. Their sense of worth, they get a sense of worth only from only from being in that relationship with the man.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
don't know how true is that. Do
Okay.
you
I've
know?
heard of this. I'm somebody, I read a lot. I do a lot of research, and to be honest, I've come across what you're saying, but I can tell you in like 10%, it should be only three of seven, because many people nowadays, why will you? Yeah, there are some people that they don't have that self-worth, they don't have that self confidence, they only rely on people for their joy, which is not good, and I think this is something we have to talk about, because we as humans, we have to learn to love ourselves first, because if you're not able to love yourself, you cannot give that love to somebody. We have to also learn to be self-confident. We have to learn to have our joy without others. Like, we have to be happy. Our happiness should not come from someone else. We have to be happy. Yeah, learn to make ourselves happy and learn to be independent. Despite you are in a relationship, at times you have to learn to do your things alone. You have to learn to be self-independent, because who knows tomorrow? So if you say that is some, I can say yeah, but not many of the women who stay in who stay in an abusive relationship is because of this issue. I don't think so. Though there are some cases, yeah, but it's just few. It's just few.
You can't say that for a fact unless you actually have the statistics, you know. Yeah, you can we can really say that for a fact that um um it's few, you know, because I mean the rate at which we see domestic abuse in marriages within our community is alarming, you know.
Yeah,
But why you were explaining that, you know, I mean, you've given all these explanation, the wonderful explanation. But do you know? I mean, some people actually truly they don't whatever the man may be hitting them, doing all sort of things to them, like verbally, but they don't see it as a big deal. They don't see it as like being verbally abusive towards them because of how they grew up. So, I mean, because you have people who grew up in a verbally abusive home, meaning that they saw dad beating mom all the time. And so when they got married, eventually their husband started hitting them too. And some people like them, it's normal. So how do you, I mean, how do you now? I want us to digress a little.
okay.
How do you kind of like create awareness to such people? You know,
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah, this is something that is very important, because, for example, if you grow up like in an abusive home, obviously only few children will want to do the opposite. Some of them will always see it as a norm, and only few of them will want to do the opposite. So in this case, it is very important for us to educate our society or our youth that abuse is not something anybody should tolerate. Abuse is not something that is normal. Whether you have been abused verbally, physically, or emotionally, you don't have to take it lightly. It's not something that is accepted in our society, and we have to try to educate our people on this. Like, okay, if you are in a relationship, if you are in marriage and you are being abused, you have to seek for support. There are many support systems. You have to seek for help, and especially if you are in a relationship that is not yet being called marriage, like you are still in a courtship, You have to look out for those signs. And when you see them, do not ignore them. Because I tell you, an abusive person is very difficult for them to change. So, what we have to do is to sensitize our society, our youth, not to see abuse as something that is being accepted, not to see abuse as an only option, but also to teach them how to be able to be self-independent, to have self-love, self-worth, and not to accept abuse because you are seeking for support, for love, for this or for that. No. Because at the end
Okay.
of it, you'll be the one.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you for that explanation. You know that victims of abusive relationship, right? They
yeah,
always believe what is said about them. You know, they believe what their abusers say to them about who they are. So, um, what advice would you give to such people?
people, yeah, like you said, it's true. Some people believe what their abuser says to them, but I am here today to tell you that you are beautiful, you are special, you can make it without them. They are just manipulators. If you look at the statistic, most abusers are manipulators. They are people who don't even have that self-love for themselves. They are people who are just they don't love their own life, and they don't even have that love to give out. That's why they keep abusing others. And they are just there to manipulate you guys, to tell you that you can't make it without them. For sure, you can make it without them. You for sure you can be independent. For sure, you can you can be happy without them. You understand? I think the only person that we need so badly in our life is Jesus. We need God. God is the only person we need more than our abusers, more than those who keep abusing us. They are nothing to us. They can't make us happy. They can't give us what we really want in this life. So it is better for you to quit and look for help or look for that right person that God has destined for you. Because God is not going to send you an abusive person. And I believe that after every tunnel, there must be a light. So do not think you are at the end of the tunnel, because at the end of the tunnel, there's always a light that comes out. There are many people that have been in abusive relationship, got out of it, and got a good relationship. So I'll advise you self-love, independent, and be try to do something to keep yourself busy. Try to create a very supportive group, like make friends who are very encouraging and supportive, and stay away from your abuser.
Thank you so very much, Sheila Mason TV or Cooking with Sheila Mason. That the explanation you gave, wonderful explanation, great ideas, great points. I mean, you made. Um, I mean, to round it up, so we've learned that as a woman, you have to have self-confidence, know who you are, and the only way to know who you are is you being intentional about what you do,
Exactly.
meaning that you have to improve.
Yeah.
The areas where the areas in your life that need improvement, you know them better, work on them and improve on them. That's going to help you to build self-confidence
Exactly.
in such a way that nobody can define who you are because you know who you are, and also it's very good. I mean, for us as women to be financially independent,
Exactly.
because when you're independent, you're not gonna um, stay in an abusive relationship because you're scared of raising kids all by yourself. If
Exactly.
you're financially stable, you know, if it's a marriage where you can survive being beaten every day, okay, you have to live with your kids. But then you're financially stable to take care if at all the father of your children decide not to help if you leave the marriage, because of course you have men who are like that. Usually
Exactly.
abusive people always have the tendency of behaving like that. So I think, I mean, we just have to continue to create awareness in our own little way, in our own corner, talk to friends, talk to families, you know, if you know of someone who is going through that, advise them in your own way. If it's a situation where you can shelter them, you do so. You are not telling them to leave their marriage, but you just want them to be safe, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
So yes. So thank you so much, Sheila. That
Yeah.
was wonderful. I would want us to come back again next time to actually discuss why men are verbally abusive towards women. You
Okay.
know.
Okay. I would also like to thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Encounter Naira. But I want us to end this. Like, I want to say this to my ladies out there, the youths out there. Let them also consider this issue, because I also talk about the societal pressure. I want you to understand that do not like depend on societal pressure. Do not say what are my parents going to say if I leave this marriage. Do not say what are the society going to say, or my friends, what are my friends going to say, because if you lose your life, they will not be there to replace you. You have to think of yourself alone. You don't, even your children, at some point I will advise you, you can go without it, you can live without the children, because your life is important. Your life is important, because if you die tomorrow, who is going to take care of those children? So it is always safe and advisable for you to go out of this relationship, no matter the pressure. No matter the pressure, women, we have to be wise. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to think of ourselves first before any other thing. Our safety, it counts a lot. And so that's why I just wanted to make this clear, because I've got cases where women stayed in this relationship because of societal pressure. And I want to tell you that that is not an option. If you can, if you can be able to go out of this relationship, do not be afraid. You will always get support. There are many support systems out there, and we are creating awareness. We are trying to create support group for women. So please, if you watch this video, do leave your comment down below. We are going to leave a phone number where you can also call to give your own ideas and your own opinion. We are always there and ready to help and support as a team.
Okay, thank you so much, Sheila. I really appreciate you for bringing me on for us to talk about domestic violence. It is something that is very um, common within our African community. I'm not saying you don't find that here in the Western world, but it's not the norm. But with us Africans,
Mhm.
is basically something normal. As a matter of fact, I had an encounter on Friday, you know,
Mhm.
someone, that,
Mhm.
I mean, was going through that.
Mhm.
And I couldn't believe.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I hope to be back again for us to talk about why men um,
Abuse
get
women.
so verbally abused or abusive to their spouses or to
Mhm.
their wives. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I hope to see you again next week.
Thank you so much, Encounter Naira. I'll also use this opportunity, guys. Subscribe to her YouTube channel. Her channel name, I'm going to pin it under this video. Encounter Naira. Thanks for having me again, and see you next week.
Thank you. Bye. Mhm.
Bye.
Thank you to our viewers within, I mean, although I saw some people coming on and off, I know people will come later to watch. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I mean, come on, watch till the end, support us, subscribe, and like and share. That's
Thank you.
how we spread, I mean, information. Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
too for having me. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.